The call from my brother Daniel came at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, his voice breathless with excitement. Natalie. Amazing news. The investment fund is about to pay out. $300,000. I'm telling you, this was the best decision we ever made. Emma's surgery is completely covered, plus you'll have money left over. This is going to change everything for you. I was sitting in Emma's hospital room watching my 7-year-old daughter sleep. She'd been diagnosed with a rare spinal condition 6 months ago. The surgery she needed cost $280,000, most of it not covered by insurance. I'd been drowning in fundraising attempts, medical bills, and the constant terror of not being able to save my child. Then Daniel had offered to help. He worked in finance, he'd said. He knew people, knew investments. If I let him manage Emma's medical fund, the $180,000 I'd raised through GoFundMe, family contributions, and liquidating my retirement accounts, he could grow it enough to cover the surgery and the follow-up care. I'd been desperate enough to say yes. Daniel, the surgery is scheduled for next Friday. I need the money by Thursday at the latest. You'll have it Wednesday. I'm meeting with the fund managers tomorrow morning. The paperwork is already drawn up. $300,000, Natalie. You're going to be able to give Emma everything she needs. You promise? I swear on my life. This is happening. Trust me. I wanted to trust him. Daniel was my older brother. He'd helped me move apartments. He'd visited Emma in the hospital. He'd held my hand at the initial diagnosis when I couldn't stop crying. But something in his voice, the slightly manic edge, the forced enthusiasm, made my stomach tighten. Can you send me the investment documents? I asked. Just so I can see what we're dealing with? They're confidential until the payout processes. But I'll forward everything once the transfer completes. I promise. After we hung up, I sat in the dark hospital room and tried to push down the anxiety creeping up my spine. Everything would be fine. Daniel was handling it. The money was coming. Emma would get her surgery. Everything would be fine. At 6:23 a.m. the next morning, a call woke me from the uncomfortable chair where I'd fallen asleep next to Emma's bed. Unknown number. I answered quietly so I wouldn't wake Emma. Ms. Natalie Torres? Yes. This is Special Agent Marcus Reed, FBI Financial Crimes Division. I need to speak with you urgently about your brother, Daniel Torres, and a medical fund in your daughter's name. The room tilted. What? Ms. Torres, are you currently at St. Luke's Medical Center? Yes. Room 447. Why? I'll be there in 20 minutes. Please don't contact your brother. This is extremely time-sensitive. He hung up before I could ask anything else. Agent Reed arrived at 6:51 a.m. with another agent, a woman who introduced herself as Special Agent Carmen Vega. They showed me badges and asked if we could speak somewhere private. We went to a small conference room down the hall. Agent Reed opened a laptop and pulled up a series of documents. Bank statements, wire transfer records, casino transaction logs. Ms. Torres, when did you give your brother access to your daughter's medical fund? 4 months ago. June. He said he could invest it and grow it enough to cover her surgery. What's happening? Agent Vega turned the laptop toward me. These are transaction records from the account your brother opened to manage the fund. Do you recognize any of these transfers? I looked at the screen. Dozens of transactions. Hundreds of them. Wire transfers to places called Desert Star Casino, Golden Palace Gaming, Atlantic Reserve Casino. Amounts ranging from $5,000 to $30,000. Date after date after date. My hands went numb. What is this? Your brother has been gambling with your daughter's medical fund, Agent Reed said quietly. He's transferred approximately $173,000 to various casinos over the last 4 months. The remaining $7,000 is currently frozen in an account we've seized as part of a broader investigation into casino fraud and money laundering. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't process the words. That's not possible. Daniel called me last night. He said the investment was paying out $300,000 tomorrow. He said Emma's surgery was covered. There is no investment, Ms. Torres. There never was. Your brother has been gambling with your money and losing consistently. Last night he placed a $50,000 bet at Desert Star Casino using the last significant portion of the fund. He lost. The conference room spun. He told me $300,000. He promised. He lied. Agent Vega's voice was gentle but firm. Miss Torres, we've been investigating Daniel for 6 weeks. He's part of a casino fraud network that targets desperate people, convinces them to invest in fake high-return funds, then gambles the money away. Your brother isn't the only one doing this, but he's one of the most prolific. He's stolen funds from at least 11 other families. Medical funds, college funds, retirement accounts. The total is over $2 million. He's my brother. He visited Emma. He held my hand. He promised to help. I know. Family members often make the most effective fraudsters because victims trust them implicitly. Agent Reed pulled up more documents. We need your help, Miss Torres. We need you to testify about how your brother gained access to the fund, what he promised you, and what communications you have with him. In exchange, we'll do everything we can to help recover whatever money might still be retrievable. How much is retrievable? Agent Vega's expression told me everything before she spoke. Maybe $7,000. The casinos are cooperating with the investigation, but legally, they're not required to return money that was gambled away. Your brother lost $173,000. That money is gone. I started shaking. The kind of shaking that comes from the core of your body when reality fractures into something you can't comprehend. Emma's surgery is next Friday. It costs $280,000. I gave Daniel everything I had. Everything. I don't have time to raise money again. I don't have. My voice broke. Agent Vega reached across the table and took my hand. I know. I have kids too. We're going to help however we can. But first, we need to stop your brother before he does this to anyone else. At 8:47 a.m., sitting in that sterile conference room with 2 FBI agents, I called Daniel. They'd given me a script to follow. They were recording everything. He answered on the 3rd ring, his voice cheerful. Natalie. Perfect timing. I'm at the meeting with the fund managers right now. Everything's looking great. You should see the paperwork. $300,000 just like I promised. Daniel, I need you to be honest with me about something. Pause. Of course. What's up? Where is Emma's money right now? The actual account. I need the account number and bank information. Another pause, longer this time. It's in the investment fund. I've told you that. Why are you asking? Because I need to verify it exists. Emma's surgery is in 6 days. I can't take any chances. Natalie, you're being paranoid. I've handled everything. You need to trust me. Did you gamble with Emma's medical fund? Silence. I could hear breathing on the other end of the line. Then quietly, who told you that? Answer the question. It's more complicated than you think. Yes, I used some of the money for strategic investments in gaming. But it was calculated. I have a system. I was going to win it all back plus more. I still can. I just need a little more time. My vision blurred with tears. You gambled away my daughter's surgery money. I was trying to help. The investment fund was real. I partnered with some people who know the casino systems. We had a strategy. It didn't work out the way we planned. But I can fix this, Natalie. I just need you to give me 1 more week. I can get the money back. There is no money, Daniel. You lost $173,000. Emma's surgery is in 6 days and I have nothing. I'll fix it. I swear. Just don't tell anyone about this. If you report me or make a scene, it'll be harder to recover the funds. These casino people, they're connected. If law enforcement gets involved, we'll never get the money back. Agent Reed tapped a note toward me. Keep him talking. We're tracing his location. Where are you right now? I asked. I'm at a coffee shop. Meeting location. Why? What coffee shop? Why does that matter? Natalie, you're not thinking clearly. You're panicking. Just trust me. I'm your brother. I would never hurt Emma. Let me fix this. You already hurt her. You stole her medical fund. She might not be able to have surgery now because of what you did. Don't say that. His voice rose, defensive and desperate. I was trying to help. The system was supposed to work. It's not my fault the dealers were cheating. The casinos are rigged. I was robbed. You weren't robbed, Daniel. You gambled away my daughter's life. I'll get it back. Just give me time. I have one more strategy. One more big bet that'll cover everything. I just need seed money. If you can get me $20,000, I can turn it into $300,000 by next week. I promise. I looked at Agent Reed. He shook his head. Daniel, I don't have $20,000. I don't have anything. You took everything I had. Then borrow it. From mom and dad. From friends. This is Emma we're talking about. Don't you want to save your daughter? I wanted to save my daughter. That's why I gave you $180,000. And you gambled it away. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. You're going to punish me for trying to help. Agent Reed held up his phone. Got him. Desert Star Casino parking lot, Las Vegas. Local agents are 2 minutes away. Daniel, I said carefully. I need you to stay where you are. The FBI is coming to talk to you. The line went dead. Agent Vega stood up. He'll run. We have agents at the casino. They'll intercept him. My hands were shaking so badly I couldn't hold my phone. What happens now? Now we arrest your brother, seize whatever assets he has left and build a case for wire fraud, theft and conspiracy. He's looking at 10 to 15 years in federal prison. Agent Reed's expression was hard. I know he's your family, Miss Torres. But what he did was predatory and cruel. He targeted vulnerable people in crisis and stole from them. He needs to face consequences. What about Emma's surgery? I'll make some calls. There are victim assistance funds, medical charities, emergency grants. I can't promise anything but we'll try to help. Daniel was arrested at 9:34 a.m. in the parking lot of Desert Star Casino. He was carrying $3,200 in cash, money he'd been planning to gamble in one final attempt to win everything back. He fought the arrest, screaming that he was being set up, that he had a system, that one more bet would have fixed everything. The news cycle picked up the story by evening. FBI arrests man who gambled away sick child's medical fund. My phone exploded with messages. Some supportive, some horrific. Strangers accused me of being a bad mother for trusting Daniel. Others sent donations. Emma asked where Uncle Daniel was. I told her he'd made some bad choices and couldn't visit for a while. She cried. She'd loved Daniel. He'd brought her stuffed animals and played games with her during hospital stays. Did Uncle Daniel do something really bad? She asked. Yes, sweetheart. He did. Is it because of me? Because I'm sick. My heart shattered. No, baby. None of this is because of you. Uncle Daniel made his own choices. You didn't do anything wrong. Over the next 5 days, something unexpected happened. The news coverage triggered an outpouring of support. Donations flooded in, $50 here, $100 there, a few large contributions of $5,000 or $10,000. A medical charity reached out offering to cover 40% of Emma's surgery costs. A hospital foundation offered another 30%. By Thursday, the day before Emma's surgery, we had $267,000. Not quite enough, but the hospital agreed to proceed and work out a payment plan for the remainder. Emma had her surgery on Friday. 7 hours. I sat in the waiting room with Agent Vega, who'd taken a personal interest in the case. She held my hand when the surgeon came out and said the operation was successful. Daniel's trial was set for March. The prosecutor asked if I'd testify. I said yes. My mother called the night before the trial started. Natalie, please, don't do this to your brother. He made a mistake. He's sick. Gambling addiction is a disease. He needs help, not prison. He stole Emma's medical fund, Mom. He gambled away her surgery money. She could have died because of what he did. He's your brother. And Emma is my daughter. He chose gambling over her life. I'm testifying. She hung up. We haven't spoken since. The trial lasted 3 weeks. I testified on day 4. I told the court everything. How Daniel had promised to invest the money, how he'd reassured me repeatedly, how he'd called the night before I found out the truth and promised $300,000 was coming. I told them about Emma. About her pain. About the surgery she almost couldn't have because her uncle stole from her. Daniel sat at the defense table and wouldn't look at me. His lawyer argued he had a gambling addiction, that he'd been trying to help, that he'd made terrible choices but didn't deserve 15 years in prison. The prosecutor showed the jury transaction records. $173,000 gambled away in 4 months. 11 other victims. Over $2 million stolen. A pattern of predatory behavior targeting desperate families. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Guilty on all counts. Daniel was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison and ordered to pay restitution, $173,000 to me, plus amounts to the other victims. The judge called his actions a profound betrayal of family trust during a medical crisis. Daniel looked at me as they led him away. His expression wasn't apologetic. It was angry. Like I'd done something wrong by reporting him. Emma is 9 now. Her surgery was successful. She still has some mobility issues, but she's alive and thriving. She plays adaptive soccer. She gets straight A's. He talks about being a doctor someday. The restitution payments come sporadically, $200 here, $500 there, garnished from whatever prison job Daniel manages to hold. So far I've received $3,400 over 2 years. At this rate, I'll get the full $173,000 back sometime around 2067. I don't care about the money anymore. Emma is alive. That's what matters. Daniel writes letters sometimes. They're full of justifications and self-pity. He's in prison because I overreacted. He's suffering because I couldn't forgive one mistake. He's lost everything because I chose to be vindictive instead of understanding. I don't respond. My mother forwards his letters occasionally, adding notes like "he's your brother," and "family is supposed to forgive." I stopped reading her emails. Last week Agent Vega called. She's retired now, but she still checks in occasionally. "How's Emma?" "She's great. Really great." "Good. That's what matters." Pause. "Your brother's eligible for early release in 8 years. Thought you should know. Thanks for the warning. Natalie, you did the right thing. I know it was hard. But you protected your daughter and stopped him from hurting other families. That took courage." After we hung up, I went to Emma's room. She was doing homework, her legs stretched out carefully on her bed, her face scrunched in concentration over a math problem. "Mom, can you help me with fractions?" I sat down next to her. "Of course, baby. Thanks." She smiled at me, the smile I almost lost, the smile Daniel's gambling almost stole forever. I helped her with fractions. We ate dinner. She told me about her day. And I didn't think about Daniel at all. Because Emma was here. Alive. Smiling. And that was the only thing that mattered.